Let's talk about force. Force is anything that causes an object to accelerate or decelerate. Okay? Newton discovered this principle of force, and he came up with his formula, which is very widely used, and you're going to have to use this a lot to solve physics problems. Okay? The formula is force equals mass times acceleration. Okay? So what are the units for force? Well, we know the unit for mass is kilogram. The unit for acceleration is meters per second squared. So the unit for force is really a unit of mass, kilograms, times meters per second squared. Okay? Now that's a lot to write, and I don't want to have to keep writing that every time I'm writing a force. So we can simplify that. We can say 1 kilogram times meters over second squared equals 1 Newton. So when we write a big N, named after Sir Isaac Newton, the man who discovered this, we're talking about 1 kilogram times meters per second squared, the mass times the acceleration. Okay, there's a couple different formulas you're going to need to use to solve problems. And typically they'll ask you, using this equation, to, given two of these things, solve for the third. So given a force and a mass, solve for acceleration. Given mass and acceleration, solve for force, and so forth. So we can very easily move these around. So we know that F equals m times a. Okay? But if we want to solve for acceleration, we can say, okay, well, I want to get my m. I want to divide by m here, divide by m here, and I have acceleration equals force divided by mass. Okay? If I want to solve for mass, I can again remove my a from this side by dividing, and I get mass equals force divided by acceleration. Okay? So let's look at some of the problems that you'd get typically with understanding Newton's laws of force. Okay? The first question might be, what force is required to accelerate an object having a mass of 3 kilograms to an acceleration of 5 meters per second squared? Okay, so they've given us mass and they've given us acceleration. So that's just a simple F equals m times a. And if I say 3 kilograms times 5 meters per second squared, okay, I get 15 meters, sorry, 15, don't forget my kilograms, times meters per second squared. And again, I don't like that unit, so I'm just going to call that 15 newtons. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Let's look at a second problem. This time I'm going to ask something a little bit different. Okay? What is the mass of an object accelerated at 10 meters per second squared to a force of 75 newtons? Okay? So now I want to know the mass. Okay? So again, and this time I'm saying m equals F divided by a. Okay? And if I plug my numbers in here, okay, I've got my force is 75 newtons, which cancel the units. We'll say is kilograms times meters per second squared. Okay? And my acceleration is 10 meters per second squared. Okay? And now you can see that this unit cancels with that unit. Okay? And I have 75 divided by 10 kilograms, which equals 7.5 kilograms. Okay? So these are some of the ways we can apply this unit of force, F equals ma, to solve different types of problems.